Oh man, I'm telling you. I remember the days when I was actually proud of this state, my state, Massachusetts, when we had Charlie Baker in office, the best fiscal manager that we ever had, following the destructive tax policies of Deval Patrick, who crushed our fucking state. Baker repaired our state. And now we have a situation where Maura Healey is crushing our state again and is taking our state back in that bad direction. Here's the thing. Charlie Baker belongs on Beacon Hill. Maura Healey belongs on my show. My show of political chaos. My show of antics and chaos and everything else. But here's the thing. Do I really want her on my show? No. It's an example. Because my show's about, it's like being a fucking circus, being about chaos and swear fest and everything else. Yeah, that's all well and dandy. Except the difference is this show is about having fun and having swear fests and crossing boundaries, crossing the political correctness boundary. But the thing is, Maura Healey, on the other hand, is the entire circus. She's not even a clown, she's the entire circus. And that is why I am concerned for my own state, because I know for a fact that my state is way off track and heading in the wrong direction. It is already in a bad direction. It is being derailed, and it is being derailed and devastated by Maura Healey's record of failure. Let's see. Straining our diplomatic relationship with New Hampshire, trying to put a fucking toll on their border, pissing them off, pissing off the governor of New Hampshire. Maura Healey's economic policies have crushed our state. An ever-growing migrant crisis that Maura Healey has presided over, and she is sending jobs and businesses packing. And our tax climate now ranks 46th out of 50 states, after we were 34th in the nation, which was about around the middle of the pack. So here's why, and this is my message to New Hampshire. New Hampshire has an important governorship coming up. They have an important election coming up. And Kelly Ayotte is the leading candidate there. And she keeps warning people that she doesn't want New Hampshire to become Massachusetts, because her opponent, Joyce Craig, and Maura Healey are endorsing each other. Maura Healey stuck her nose in New Hampshire's business, and then also sticking her nose in their business, saying that they should vote Democrat and everything, and further pissing them off even more. So people have had enough. I, quite frankly, have had enough. I know that was a long intro. That was quite a long intro before, but anyway, let's get on with it. Let's just get on with it and say, yeah, New Hampshire, Kelly Ayotte is your best option. I know a lot of people would say, Zach, you're endorsing a Republican. Oh my God. Yeah, it's called being an independent. Even though I'm pretty goddamn left-wing when it comes to politics and world affairs and a multipolar world and everything, that's been obvious. That's been obvious for a long time. I am pretty left-wing on the political spectrum. You guys all know that. Okay? You guys all know that. That's been pretty obvious. But we are seeing right now what Maura Healey is doing to our state and what her record of failure is doing to our state. We were once a middle-of-the-pack state when it comes to the tax climate. And guess what? The tax climate has declined dramatically. Now we are the 46th most unfriendly tax state in the nation. That means our tax climate is the 46th most friendly. That means that means that only 4 other states have a tax climate that is worse than how things are right now under Maura Healey. Maura Healey wants to allow local communities to raise taxes, when already we have record taxes. We have a sales tax that is completely out of control, a sales tax that is 6.25% that should have been rolled, that should be rolled back. It should have been rolled back to 5%. As far as the income tax goes, 5% isn't bad. So I'm kind of okay with that. That's not really a big deal. Now, here's the problem with the millionaire's tax and what it is. Here's the thing. I am not against rich corporations and rich people chipping in a little more. I am not opposed to that. I am not opposed to that by any stretch of the imagination. But what I am opposed to is when you've got these taxes that are going down on people that are at the lower end of the income scale. Obviously, we're all in a housing crunch because of fucking Joe Biden, because Biden is fucking incompetent. I think that's been pretty fucking obvious. Okay? I think that's pretty fucking obvious. But Maura Healey is doing that. Oh, yeah, by the way, Maura Healey's endorsing Joe Biden. I know you're shocked, right? An even bigger fucking embarrassment to the state. I'm telling you. But I'm telling you, fucking folks, I'm telling you. I'm so pissed off at the stuff that they're doing. So yeah, that's the reason why Kelly Ayotte is running, and she's doing this, because Chris Sununu's not seeking another term. Here's the thing. Kelly is 100% right to call out Maura Healey. I, as a lifelong Mass resident, am proud of her for calling her out like that. I am 100% proud, because I am not proud of this state. I am not proud of how things are, and people have had enough. The majority of people in Massachusetts think the taxes are too high. It is the primary reason why Charlie Baker ran and why he got into power, and why, when he did, we were in the best fiscal state that we've ever been in. We were in the best fiscal state. We had great relations with all our neighbors. Charlie Baker was great friends with Chris Sununu. We got along with all of our neighbors. We got along. Things were pretty decent. Not saying we didn't have problems too. I mean, of course, everywhere has problems, But the problems under Maura Healey are just piling up upon piling up upon piling up. And yes, the millionaire's tax is completely being mishandled, because every fucking property now in this state is basically worth $1 million. So just some average person who's going to sell their house, they would be subject to that fucking millionaire's tax. That's a problem. That is a problem. That is not a tax that just falls on big corporations, which is, if it did, I'd be okay with that. I'd actually theoretically be okay with that. I actually did once endorse the millionaire's tax. I was just like, okay, I endorse. It makes sense. Okay, as long as it applies to corporations. But now, looking at it now, no. If I could go back, I'd say no. I 100% oppose it. If I could, I'd go back and say no. I completely oppose it, because it's unacceptable. Because now the way it's being handled, that is actually devastating our economy. Now that is devastating our economy. Now that's completely devastating our economy. And people have had enough. And people have just completely had enough of Maura Healey's record of failure. And that's what it is. And like I said, I am not against migrants coming in. I'm not against that, but I'm against uncontrolled migration. That's what I'm against. And Maura Healey is literally having uncontrolled immigration. That is what she is allowing. She is now presiding over a migrant crisis where billions upon billions of dollars of Massachusetts taxpayer money is being wasted on sheltering people. Now, here's the thing. That is not fair to the taxpayers of Massachusetts, and it sure as hell is not fair to the migrants to say, oh yeah, just come to Massachusetts, just come on up here, just no problem, just no problem, just completely no problem. Just completely no problem. Instead of focusing on the situation that we're in now, where we should be focusing on jobs and focusing on businesses and focusing on all of that. Okay? Why don't we focus on that? We've had the largest mass exodus of taxpayers fleeing our state of any state in New England, and one of the worst in the country. There has been a net loss of over 50,000 people that have left since Maura Healey took office. And not only that, there's probably going to be more. And guess what? Now there's probably going to be more. I only stay here because I have a choice. I don't have I have a reason to stay. I mean I do. I mean I can't just get up. I have family. I have friends here. I have too much going on here. It's hard to say, but people have had, and people are fed up. People are fed up with what Maura Healey is doing. She is killing our businesses. She is killing our economy. She is destroying our way of life. And she's allowing taxes to just go completely out of control. People just can't take it anymore. Maura Healey is allowing local taxes to go up. So you know what that essentially means? That means that Maura Healey is presiding over some of the biggest tax increases in Massachusetts history. Literally on par with what Deval Patrick did. What did Deval Patrick fucking do to this state? Gave us the biggest tax increases in history. What is Maura Healey doing? The same thing. The same thing. The biggest local tax increases in history. We don't need any more of that. We need real tax cuts. Not her phony fucking tax package where she's just like, oh, we're going to do this. And it's literally just tax cuts on paper. And then she's sitting there bragging to Chris Sununu. And then Chris Sununu actually called her out on that saying, you're bragging about cutting taxes? Like, what are you talking about? He literally said that. Like, Chris Sununu literally said, you calling for cutting taxes is like bragging about me eating a salad. He said that, and it's so true. He said it, and it's so true. Because jobs and businesses are going to leave. And individual citizens are going to leave. So basically, she has increased taxes and got our tax climate down to 46 out of 50 states. That means that only 4 other states in the country have a tax climate worse than our state does now. Under Charlie Baker, it was 34th. So we were like in the middle of the pack. It means we had a better tax climate under him. I am not opposed to taxation to invest in people. But you see the opposite here. You see the opposite here. With Massachusetts, you see record tax increases. So what you see here is under Massachusetts, where you see record taxes and you see cronyism and corruption on Beacon Hill. You see that one-party Democrat rule now, where basically the Democrats on Beacon Hill just do anything they want with no checks and balances. They're looking for someone. People are looking for someone that is going to turn something around. That is why we had Charlie Baker in there for 8 years. That is why, because he shook up stuff. He ran stuff like a business. He was the CEO of Harvard Pilgrim, a health insurance company. Charlie Baker ran stuff like a business. You have to run an economy like a business. Well, at the same time, you're investing in people, you invest in healthcare, you invest in education. I believe in all that. I'm left-wing. Politically, I believe in that 100%. But with taxation, there comes responsibility. We all know that we got local taxes, we got meals tax, we got sales tax, income tax. We have all these taxes in Massachusetts that are just completely out of control. We have all this situation, and Maura Healey's her local taxes and her local tax bill is just making things completely out of control. And what is Maura Healey doing? She's presiding over the worst housing crisis in history. That's what she's doing. And now you see why Kelly Ayotte is saying she does not want New Hampshire to go down the same path. No, do not vote for Joyce Cray. I am telling you. Okay, I am telling you. Everybody needs to keep New Hampshire the way it is, because New Hampshire is in the opposite state of where our fucking state is in. You know, our next door neighbor, New Hampshire to the north, where many of our former Massachusetts businesses, jobs, and taxpayers now reside, they're doing just the complete opposite of what we're doing here. They have taxation. Well, I mean, okay, here's the thing, that they have higher property taxes and everything. But here's the thing. Property taxes suck. I get that. Property taxes suck. They're regressive. They're not fair. I'm not a fan of property taxes by any stretch of the imagination. But here's the reality. They don't have other regressive taxes. And here's the thing. Most of Maura Healey's tax policies are hurting people at the lower end of the income scale the most. That's what it is. And we do not need any more of this. We don't need any more of this. We need real competition on Beacon Hill. We need more competition, less bureaucracy, more checks and balances, and just a shift up. A shift. So no, I encourage New Hampshire to vote for Kelly Ayotte, because I'm telling you guys, you do it. I don't agree with Kelly Ayotte on everything. You know, she's kind of, she's a little, I mean, I don't agree with her on everything, but, I mean, I definitely don't agree with her foreign policy initiatives, but that's besides the point. Here's what she said. New Hampshire's future is on the ballot this year. Joyce Craig, New Hampshire, and Cindy Warmington, I think that's her lieutenant governor, I think she chose, or some of the people in the race, I don't know, think Massachusetts is a better model for us than the path Governor Sununu has us on. I couldn't disagree more, and I'll never let them mass up the great state of New Hampshire.
To Commitment 2020 now, and candidates for statewide political office have just one more day to file their campaigns at the Secretary of State's office. As WMUR political director Adam Sexton reports, Kelly Ayotte made her candidacy for governor official while highlighting her differences with her opponents.
Kelly Ayotte drew a big crowd to the State House Thursday morning as she officially filed her candidacy for governor, saying the top issue in this campaign is keeping New Hampshire from charting a new political course.
My opponents have a very different vision for the state, and they want to take us down a different path. Joyce Craig and Cindy Warmington, they think that the Massachusetts model is a better model than the path that Governor Sununu has us on right now.
No, it's not.
The former U.S.
Nope. As a lifelong Massachusetts resident, I'd say it's not. At least not anymore. You know, here's the thing. New Hampshire has always been the most successful state in New England. And there's a reason for that. Because New Hampshire is a business-friendly climate where it's a business-friendly state. It's a family-friendly state. It's a safe state. They have more local control. They have good public schools. They have beautiful wildlife. They actually take care of their roads. I mean, they do just the opposite of what they do here. Their roads are 50 times better than any state I've ever driven in New England. Now, don't get me wrong. There's shitty roads there too, just like there's shitty roads in all states. But that's besides the point.
U.S. Senators.
No, New Hampshire is better by every stretch of the imagination, and I will say it.
Come under fire from Democrats on the issue of abortion. Ayotte says she will uphold state law and veto any attempts to add further restrictions.
I will protect that.
See, that's the other thing. Trying to distract voters from the big issues that are going on. Nothing is going to change with regards to women's reproductive rights. Kelly Ayotte or Chris Sununu, none of them have ever said it. Or if the other Democrats win in New Hampshire. I can't imagine that happening, but if it does, then, well, but nothing is going to change with regards to reproductive rights. Everything that Maura Healey or any of the other Democrats have said about Kelly Ayotte is 100% misleading. Because everything Kelly Ayotte has been saying about Maura Healey is 100% accurate. Everything that they've been saying about Kelly is 100% inaccurate and completely misleading.
Law, I will not change it. And so they're misleading the women of New Hampshire right now by making them think that there's going to be something else that will happen.
Ayotte has also been the target of frequent attacks from Republican primary opponent Chuck Morse. Today, her supporters laughed at the...
Yeah, I mean, Chuck Morse and her are kind of rivals, but I don't know. It's kind of just campaign stuff.
The idea, she's not conservative enough.
I've known Chuck a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't say it. See, Kelly, you got to be the right balance. You got to be the right balance. You don't want to be the uber liberal, but you don't want to be the ridiculous far right. No, you got to be a moderate, level-headed person. Kelly Ayotte, Charlie Baker, Chris Sununu, Larry Hogan, Phil Scott, other moderates are the better example.
Time. And it's a sad way for him to end his political career.
In Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR.
And that's the other thing. And you want to know the other funny thing too? It's so ironic that they always have the same type of argument against the other. It's like, you can imagine that the Democrats, because this is what they run on, because they have nothing. They have no strategy. Now, again, neocon pieces of shit have no fucking strategy either. I don't think Kelly's a neocon. I disagree with that sentiment. I used to think she was. I didn't like her at one point. But now she makes perfect sense. Now I'm Team Kelly Ayotte all day. I ride the Kelly Ayotte train all day. I think New Hampshire should vote for her, 100%. But I'll tell you right now, they always accuse these moderate, business-friendly Republicans of what is it? It's the stupid thing. Oh, you believe in giving tax cuts for the rich. You believe in that. Trust me, there are Republicans that do believe in doing that. But Kelly's not one of them. Charlie Baker wasn't one of them. Larry Hogan isn't one of them. These people are calling for tax cuts for everybody. They're talking about tax relief for all people. Just like Charlie Baker was all about that. And you want to know something? Maura Healey is an example. See, like when Deval Patrick was crushing our fucking economy, when Maura Healey is currently crushing our economy. See, they are the ones that are talking about corporate giveaways. You want to know why? About talking about tax cuts special tax cuts for rich corporations. You know why? Because all of the corporations in Massachusetts, or the small businesses, or the small mom and pop shops, we're giving tax credits to them. You know why? Because we're giving them away to New Hampshire. We're giving them away to Rhode Island. We're giving them away to Maine. We're giving them away to Vermont and Pennsylvania. And we're giving them away to Florida, to North Carolina, to South Carolina, to Virginia, to Delaware, to all these different states, North Dakota, South Dakota, all these different places. You know why? Because they're all fleeing our state under Maura Healey. Maura Healey is presiding over unprecedented local tax increases. And she's killing our business climate, and our business tax climate is suffering. And individual citizens in this state are suffering. They just can't take it anymore. And I'm at the point where I can't take it anymore. You know why? Not because of really anything, but yeah, obviously we're living in a financial crunch. It's not easy for me. It's not easy for anybody. But I just can't take the fucking political embarrassment that she is bringing to our state. And she's in charge. Maura Healey is presiding over some of the biggest tax increases in history. And just like Deval Patrick, what did he do when he got into office in 2006? Presided over the largest tax increases in history. Maura Healey is tying Deval Patrick, the worst governor in the history of Massachusetts, and Maura Healey is right up there. She is an awful governor. She is an awful leader. She is an embarrassment to this state. And she should be ashamed of herself for the chaos and the hell that she's bringing to this state. She is a failure, and she does not deserve a reward. She does not deserve to be in office. A business climate in disarray, a tax climate in disarray, destroyed businesses, destroyed jobs, unprecedented local tax increases, record corruption, a record migrant crisis, a record housing crisis, empty promises and broken promises. That's Maura Healey's legacy. That's Maura Healey's legacy. Something has to change, because we cannot survive much longer of Maura Healey's record of failure. It's all left and it's all fun and games until it's actually there. That's the thing. It's all laughs, it's all fun and games until it's really there. Okay? Look, there's a lot of things in Massachusetts that we can be proud of. Yeah, our schools are great. Healthcare is pretty good. There's a lot of things that we can be proud of. We have a lot of progressive things here. There's a lot of things that we can be proud of. But I want a leader in this state that can make our state an actual leader and not piss off New Hampshire by accusing them of stupid shit and trying to put tolls on their borders, for Christ's sake, and talk about taking money from people with pickup trucks. See, it's ridiculous. No, Kelly Ayotte is the example. She is the best option. She's the best option. Who's the best option from Massachusetts? Anybody other than her. Now again, I was not a fan of Jeff Deal because I honestly think that Jeff Deal was going to lose and Maura Healey was going to run opposed. But you want to know something? I'm almost beginning to think we would have been better off with him in office. As much as I didn't like him, as much as I criticized him on a whole host of issues, I do not think Jeff Deal, we would be in the financial crunch that we are in under Maura Healey if Jeff Deal was in office. That's not to say I like Deal. I think he's a neocon. I'm not a fan of the guy by any stretch. But I'll tell you right now, I'm almost beginning to think we would have been better off with him in office. I didn't vote for either one. I didn't. But I'll tell you right now, Maura Healey does run in 2027. I'll tell you right now, I will never vote for her. I will vote for whoever is running against her. If it, God forbid, imagine it was Jeff Deal and her all over again, I would vote for him just to fucking vote against her. That's the problem. That is the problem in this country. People voting against, voting this, voting that. It's like, why can't we get some real good candidates in this country? Or better yet, like New Hampshire's got something a little bit better going on. Why can't we have that? I'm fed up. We need Massachusetts. This state is off track. It's not in a good place and it's heading in the wrong direction. And I don't think we can continue on the same path that we're going. Like, we need to change stuff. We have to get Maura Healey out of office because we're not going to make it. I don't know where our state's heading, but it's not heading in a good place. Because something has to change. But there is hope. There is some hope. And the polls show it. A new poll finds rise in voters who see mass on the right. Healey's favorability has dropped. So Maura Healey's approval rating is fucking dropping. New poll finds rise in voters who see mass on the wrong track. Yeah, because they're right. More and more people are waking up. Maura Healey is taking our state off track, and it's in the wrong direction. We need to change things now, not later, now. We need to cut regressive taxes, make our tax climate more friendly, more business friendly, more competitive. We need to do real types of investment in people, push dollars more down to the local level like New Hampshire does. They're a model. New Hampshire is a model to follow, in my opinion, at least. But look, I can be left-wing on some things, on most things, of the vast majority of things, economic, social policy, and foreign affairs and whatnot, but cut regressive taxes and push dollars more down to the local level and not have it to where local authorities are raising taxes. We need real tax cuts. We need real tax cuts. Just make it 5-5. 5% sales, 5% income. Look, I'm not saying we should abolish all taxes and then not have taxes to pay for services. No. What we need to do is we need to just roll back as many of Maura Healey's taxes as possible, but we need to roll back the taxes to like Charlie Baker levels. That's what we need to do. We need to roll back these ridiculous tax increases as much as we possibly can. And we need to just get them back to how they were under Baker. Just shift the sales tax back to 5%. Get the income tax down to 5%, or maybe get it to like 4%. I don't know. Just get it to where it is. I don't know. The income tax is okay because the income tax ain't that high. 5% is not high, really. There are states that are worse than that, but just have 5% sales, 5% income. And by the way, cutting the sales tax by 1.25%, that'd be real savings. That'd be real savings. That's real savings, people. That's real savings. And then use the tax dollars efficiently. Whether it's that, whether it's the sales tax, the income tax, the gas tax, or anything else. We all know how I feel about the gas tax. We don't need to get into that topic of conversation. And go watch my other videos where I've talked about the gas tax in California and so forth. See, that's the problem. I'm afraid that Maura Healey is going to start turning our state into California and New York. If we don't get her out of office, we are bound to head in that direction. And that is not the direction that I want to head in. Our once moderate blue state is being fucking devastated. Our once moderate, level-headed blue state is being devastated. And I'm concerned for our state's future. And if I didn't care, if I hated the state and I wanted to root for failure, I would just want Maura Healey to be governor for 4 more years or whatever. I care about this state, and we need to change. We need real tax cuts. We need to cut spending. Maura Healey has increased spending. Maura Healey has increased spending. Maura Healey has increased spending by as much as Deval Patrick. She's increased spending by $6.5 billion. That's a rate faster than 38 other states. That's insanity. Only 12 other states increased spending the way she did. We need to cut spending. We need to cut wasteful spending and push more dollars down to the local level and invest more in roads, bridges, and all that. Keep the gas tax where it is, obviously. You don't do it. Fuck this fucking index inflation bullshit. Leave that alone. Just use the money that we already have. If you do that, you won't have a problem. And then you need to work on real tax cuts. Roll back the sales tax to 5%. And then abolish this fucking millionaires tax. They need to abolish this fucking millionaires tax already. Okay, if you're going to have a real income tax, you're going to have a real tax on the rich, you need to do it efficiently. But most of that is going to go on other people, like houses, people with $1 million houses that are just individual people. And small businesses. That is what it's going to do. We need to get rid of that and just completely change course. Do things the complete opposite of what Maura Healey is doing. That's my vision for the future, but something's got to change. We got to change now. Maura Healey is a ticking time bomb, and this state's got to change now. And I'm telling everybody in the other 49 states, whether it's New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Florida, Ohio, where my other homies live, we all know how other places are. California, New York, Massachusetts, we don't need to head down that direction. We need real change. We need real tax cuts and real spending cuts now. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say for right now. Man, this video went on this video went on a hell of a lot longer than I intended it to go for, but because I had a lot to say. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, we all know, after November, I'm still going to make videos like this. I'm still going to do my live streams, all know in that different format. But anyway, go back, watch the other video, check out my community post. Anyway, I'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. with my next video. Look out for that. A whole bunch of other stuff in the works. Stay tuned. See you all again in my next video, in my next stream tonight, in my next stream. Look out for that and a whole bunch of other stuff in the works. Stay tuned. Stay safe, stay well, stay classy, keep fighting, keep on rocking. My fellow Bay Staters, we need to fight to get Maura Healey out of office once and for all, because she is the biggest nightmare that we have seen in recent history. Get her out of office now. Do it. Fuck Maura Healey. Get her out of fucking office. Team Kelly Ayotte all day, son. Anyway, see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Peace and so long.